Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the Cambridge IGCSE Computer Science paper 2 of the May June 2025. So we're looking at component 3 of the paper 2. All right. And as usual we'll be handling the programming part using Python. At this point I want to ask if you've liked this video, if you've subscribed, if you've shared this video. Please do well to do so. It will go a long way in encouraging us to do more. And then if there's any parts of these questions that you want me to treat, you can do well to drop me a comment so I know exactly where the interest is and make the video available as well. So here's the question. That's the question number 8. So the question says, a collector needs a video library system for a collection of videos stored on 4K Blu-ray disc, standard Blu-ray disc, DVD as digital downloads. Okay. The two-dimensional array video is used to store for each video item the title, the format, then the year it was released, and then the storage code. So this is the idea here: the title, the format, the year that it was released, and then the storage code. Then here we'll have the two-dimensional array result is used to store the result of a search to find a specific video. So the search uses the video title if the video is found. Its data is copied from the array video to array results. Okay, so the search continues if other videos with the same title are found. This data is also copied to array results. Okay, so basically you do a search, okay, of video of this very array video using the title, and for each title you find, each video you find, you do well to copy all the data in the array for that very video, and then you copy it into results. So that's basically the instruction here. This part says the video library array needs to be initialized with the null string. So you take note of it. So you initialize it with this, allowing for up to 10,000 records. So for video, maximum should be 10,000 records. Now the array result must be initialized before every search with the null string and must be able to hold up to 20 search results with the same title. Okay, with the same title. So maximum for the result is 20, maximum for video is 1000. So let's just go straight to begin to write this program. Here says you must use pseudocode, program code, and then use pseudocode or program code, and then you must add comments, which is very important. You do not need to declare any arrays, variables, or constants. So this is usually in an exam condition. Okay, so you may assume that this has already been done. So in an exam condition you don't need to do that, but for our case we need to, because we need to run the program to make sure that it's working accordingly. All right. Okay, so here is the problem basically. So let me start to write this code from here so that anyone that we do, we can copy part of this to serve as a comment. Yeah. Okay, so first of all we need to determine um the length of what do we call it, video. Okay, so video size, you can say size of video. Size of video is basically 10,000 from the question here. Okay, then size of results is basically 20 from this very instruction here. Okay, so since we have this already, we can go straight to initialize video, because the instruction here says we must initialize it, okay, to the null value. All right, so in Python we would use Python comprehension, Python list comprehension. Okay, so I'll just do video. Is it video or videos? I think it's video, right? Is there an S to it? Please, let's confirm that. Okay, so it's just video, not videos. By the way, you may be wondering, is it important? Yes, it is. If you don't use video, it's instructed, you may end up having an issue. Okay. All right, so the idea is that we have a 2D array here. Okay, so we have a 2D array. Okay, so we will initialize it with the empty string, and then we will use a for loop, to run this. Try not to use those things that people use, the X and Y and all of that. Please use real variable names. Okay, in range this. So looks like the IDE has helped me to complete this thing, but there's a little challenge here. Remember, this one is actually 4. The column is actually 4. You may be wondering, how did I arrive at 4? I arrived at 4 because of um, these data that are stored in video. You have title, you have format, you have year, and then you have storage code. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be 4. Okay, and then for role in range, this should not be result size, this should be video size. So please, if you're using this version of IDE, you need to be careful. Okay, all right. So that's that. We've actually initialized that. So in case you do a print statement just to see what the video looks like, you would easily just see that it's going to be basically empty. You see it, 10,000 of that. So that's a lot of data. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we'll take this guy out because we basically don't need it. Yeah. Okay, so what's next we need to do? Now, from this very instruction here, we say we need to create a menu to add a new video to the library to search for an existing video by title. Okay, and then when the user enters a new video, the following data is stored. So there will be a menu here where you need to where the user needs to decide if, one, he wants to enter a new a video. Okay, if that is the case, then the user needs to provide title, format, year, and storage code. And then secondly, to allow the user to enter another video if required. So you need to confirm if the user still needs to enter another video. Okay, now so but the option is actually just number one. Option one will be to enter a video. So when the user is done entering the video, the user needs now to decide. Okay, then option two, searching for an existing video. Okay, so the user can choose to search for an existing video. Okay, and then option three is to of course, after searching, you immediately display the results. And then option three would be to end. Okay, to choose to end. Okay, so meanwhile, this looks like you have to still be in the same loop. Okay, until after deciding on the option to pick, the user needs to be sent back to the main menu so that the user can continue further actions or choose to end the program. All right, so that's what we'll do. So I'm going to use while true so that it is just an endless loop until the user decides not to continue anymore. Okay, so let's say menu. Let me use 0 as the menu. Now this way, the user will be trapped. The user will be trapped into this loop here to ensure that the user will actually, what do you call it again? That the user will actually choose within the acceptable range. Okay. All right, so this is the idea. Is it 3 or 4 greater than 4? Okay, so because we have option 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so this is good. This is good. So so we'll say menu equals, so this should be an integer. Yeah, should be an integer, and then input here. So you need to decide So you need to put up a prompt, which is a mandatory requirement, okay, asking the user which option, okay, does the user want to do. So which option do you wish to choose, or which action do you wish to choose? Okay, so this IDE is already completing some of the code for me. Let me see if it is okay. So let me just hit the tab key to see. Okay, option 1, enter new video. Okay, which is the correct option? Option 2, search. Option 3, exit. Okay. Okay, so I think what is happening here is that it is getting the ID. It maybe has some AI capabilities, so it is getting some. It is using this comment to see how to actually complete some of the prompts for me. Okay, all right, but be careful because there is a high chance of mistakes. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to go to the end, then I hit my enter for this very. So we now have, firstly we need to check if the user has actually picked one. So if the user picks one, what should we do? Okay, please do not forget your comments. So let's go back here and do some comments. Sign up video. Sign up results. Yeah, but initializing, remember? Initializing video. So initializing the last stage, what else we need to comment on? So this will continue loop. So the user can enter the option. But we don't need to do all of this comment until this middle part, okay? Okay, let's say. So here we're taking the user's option. Okay, that's that. So after we're sure that the user has picked one, so the next thing we need to do is to do a loop. Okay, we can say for row. Okay, in range video says, okay, so this looks good. So we're now going to loop across each of the records. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to find out if that record is empty. Okay, to find out if that record is empty. Okay, so this guy is already doing the job for us. I think he's using this. Should I just delete this so that this prompt don't just come up? Okay, let me delete this to see if that will save us this prompt that keeps coming up. So for this and that, so we need to check if video, okay, if video is equal to empty. Okay, so if the record in this first man here is empty, that means we can actually enter value into it. Okay, so if you had records that were there before, it will jump them until it finds the first one that is empty. Okay, so I like to drop this down here, and then if that is the case, so you are required to now take the value for the video name, which is the first one, and then you take for the rest of the data here. Remember, we're told video name format. Here we're told video title or the name, the format, the year, and then the storage code. So after that, we need to take for the format. Yeah, format is in index 1. So we're entering the format here. So we can even go ahead to let the user know the formats. The format is this one here. Okay, so after that, we now need to take the video year. Okay, the year of the video, and then what's the other thing again? Not the year of the video this time around. The storage code, right? What's that thing? Yeah, the storage code. Okay, so it looks like we're done with the entries. Any other thing that we're missing here? So let's do some comments as well. Then as well change the title. Hmm? Okay, so what else do we need to do? Now, when you get here, it is important for you to break out of this loop because the user needs to decide if they are continuing or not. Okay, you can either ask the user, do you wish to continue entering? Okay, or you just break out of this loop entirely so that the menu is presented again for the user to pick from. So either ways you will still achieve the same goal. So I'm going to break out of this loop. Okay, so I'm breaking away from the for loop so that the menu is presented again for the user. Okay, and then the user gets to choose if it's coming back here as a way to to continue entering more data. Yeah, so after that, so we're basically done with this very stage. I don't want us to test now just to save time. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to go back again and do another entry, checking for menu for option 2. Okay, so here we're checking for option 2. So here we're checking if the user wants to search, okay, which is search. So let me put this in bracket. Search. Okay, so usually when you do a comment, this guy has a way of trying to use the comment to preempt what you want to achieve. Okay, so after that, so we need to enter the title, okay? So entering title. So entering title for search. They should be in here. Okay, so let's do title. Remember that this title is a string, so we can just do this. Yeah, so enter video title. So it's using this thing that I've dropped here, the comments, to try to complete the code for me, which I don't think is very good for the exam's sake. Okay, so pretty soon, if this feature continues, likely we may not be allowed to use PyCharm for exam's sake, or we will be asked to disable that. Okay, here there is an error here. This should be equal to not the, so this should be the logical comparison symbol, not the mathematical symbol. Okay, the arithmetic symbol. So what else do we need to do after doing that? There's a part that we're missing here. That part says when searching for, okay, so you must do it, must initialize this before every search with the no string, so you must initialize it. Okay, so we missed that very part. So let's do that here. We can say results, and since it's still a 2D array, okay, and we must initialize it with the empty stuff. Okay, so this looks like it. However, this needs to change to size. Okay, size of result. Okay, so good. So again, I believe it is using this thing that we already did here to complete this code for us. Okay, that's that. So what else do we need to do? So at this point, you need to take note of the index. Okay, you need to take note of the index. I will explain what this area is for shortly. So you do index equals 0, and then for video in video. Now remember that we are searching across the entire video, right? So for each of the video, you need to check if if the if video, no, not this, this is not correct. So you need to check if this title is equal to that. Okay, if this title is equal to that. Okay, so we need to check if the title is actually existing in video. Okay, so that's the idea that I want to use. Okay, so we need to check if this title is actually existing in this video. So remember, if you do video in video, that means this will be the first record. The second loop will be the video will become the second record. So we're checking if this title is present in the video. I hope this makes sense. Okay, all right, so let's continue. So what do you need to do now? If that is the case, you now need to do your result index. So for the first result, okay, the first value of the result has to be equal to this video. We'll copy this entire record onto this man here. Okay, so that's the idea that I'm using. Okay, so after doing that, remember the search needs to continue, right? The search needs to continue. So I now need to increase this to 2. Okay, so increment this. So once we have done the increment, the search will continue for the second one, and once we find it, we put it in position 2. Okay, now in that order until the very end. I hope we are getting this thing. Okay, what do we need to do now? So after that, it is important for you to print your results. Okay, print the result. So here we say printing results. Okay, printing results, or let's say printing search results. Okay, so to print this result, remember it is not the entire result that you're printing. Of course, you need to check first of all if you are not able to find, if you're not able to find any results, so you indicate that no result was found. Okay, so how do you do that? If results this 0, I think 0 0, so we're checking from the first record. If the first record is empty, okay, if the first record is empty, then it is important for us to report that no record, okay, no result was found. Okay, no video no video found. Okay, good. So no video found. Yeah, okay. However, if that is not the case, that means we found some video. So we now need to do the else. So in this else, we will now need to look for row in results. Yeah, so we now need to loop through all the results to start printing them one after the other. All right, now when we are printing, we cannot just print everything, because let's assume that we're able to find only 5 videos in the search, and we recorded them and we store them into results. If we print everything, that means we will print both the result and the empty strings. So we're not supposed to print the empty strings. Okay, so that's why we need to check if row dot 0, if it is empty, so if it is empty, you don't print it. Okay, where am I? So this should be not equal to, so if it is not equal to empty, then go ahead to print. So that way you can escape the ones that are empty. Okay, so and then I can just do this to end. So that's basically it. Is there anything else that we're missing here? So I think the last part is where we need to exit, okay, if need be, if the user chooses the exit option, which is the option 3. Okay, so we need to indent at this point. We need to indent at this point. Let me go up a bit. So if menu equals 3, uh you don't just break, you don't just break, you exit. You exit completely. Okay, you end the program, you terminate the program. Okay, let us now run this to see if things are working well. Meanwhile, our comment, remember we've not done our comments up to this point. Okay, so we'll need to come back to do that. Okay, so but let's just run first and see how it works. So when we run at this point, oh sorry, looks like I clicked that twice. Yeah. Okay, so at this point, let's choose option 1, see what happens. So I've been asked to enter the title. So let me use Superman. So we have an error here. Okay. So there is a problem here. We we did int when it should be input. See, that's why it's important to always run your program, Yeah, because this guy was helping me to complete the code and I was feeling good. So this should be a string. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's why it's important to always run these things to confirm. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that again. So still choosing option 1. Video title Superman. All right. So you see, I am brought back again to the option to continue entry. So I didn't want to use the option of asking, do you still want to continue? Yes, no, and all of that. Okay, but that still works. But I don't think it will be a problem, as long as you have the option to pick and continue entering. Yeah. So let me still enter another record. So let's still enter Superman again. Okay, Superman. So that we can search to see if it's able to find the two similar titles. Okay, so the option is again brought for me. So let me choose two that I want to search. So it's asking for the title. Let me say the title is Superman. How did we spell the Superman? Because it's very important with capital S. Okay, so Superman. So let's see if it's going to find the result for us. Okay, so you see it is able to find the two results for us that are corresponding with the title, and it skipped the empty records in results, and then I'm presented with the option again to choose what I want to do. Okay, so if I choose a 3, I should be able to terminate this program. Good. So this program is terminated. Okay. Do I need to bother with comments? I think you guys can handle that part, right? Okay, so do well to add a comment. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so at this point, I want to ask you, have you subscribed? Have you liked this video? Have you hit the notification button? Please do so if you've not. That way, okay, you encourage us to do more, and then this video gets to as many persons as possible. Um, Meanwhile, drop us a comment. Is there any section of these questions you want us to look at? Any subject, whether it's computer science or ICT, okay, that you want us to look at? Please do well to let me know. I will always try to update you guys. Thank you for your time and see you again in the next video. Bye for now.